Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Market has just opened, so I'm a couple of minutes late. I was just sorting out a few things. So overnight, pretty much just ranging. There is a slight upward feel to things at the moment, so it's hard to say whether we're going to kind of break out of this range stroke upward channel at the moment. So we did kind of bottom yesterday. We had the initial push up, and then most of the day was down, and then we went sideways for the late afternoon. We kind of look like we bottomed there a bit. So this looks kind of like it's working up to me. So pretty much ranging. So I'm guessing something like this is probably going to continue upwards. That's my thought process for a chunk of the day. So we'll see how we get on. I was looking at that, and there is a possible second entry. It's inside bar, so that's no good. Trouble is, you never know, because it's sideways as well. Will he come down and test this level, which means that's a non-starter. So, who knows at the moment. So we see how we get on. So I'm only trading 5 of my accounts. I've actually finally put in for a payment with Apex, so I'm just going to sit tight. I haven't had one for such a long time, so I've just put in for $2,750, I think it was. So hopefully more to come now. I've managed to get these accounts built up over the last couple of months. So I'll let you know when I get those. Pretty sure I traded them all fine. There should be no issues with them, so probably take a day or two. Okay. So, yeah. It's hard to say at the moment, but generally I think we're kind of working up. I did look at that, actually. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. But even with this, we could come down to this level, so I'd have to be just a little bit careful at the moment. So, 2 legs back, higher low. Would I want to go higher low here? I like the way it's working along that midline, but for me, I don't know. What I seen here is we pushed up, broke the overnight highs and pulled back. So we could get 2 legs. So I'm just sitting tight here at the minute. Not only that, it's a little bit congested, just a touch. I wouldn't be surprised if it triggered it and then dropped down. But at the moment, I'm just sort of watching things. I'm nice and patient lately, and that's the reason why 2 legs down. That would be a lower high. But the trouble is, because we're slightly going up, you don't know how far that thing's going to go. And it is just a little bit congested. So just see it around that middle. So I'm just going to sit tight. Doji anyway. So triggered that one, went down, stopped it out. So for me, that's indecision. Don't know where it's going to go up or down. Karina, good morning. So, yeah, I'm just sitting and waiting at the moment. We could have 2 legs down, and then it may continue back up. So yeah, finally put in for a payment, $2,700. So as soon as I get that, I'll let you know, and hopefully more to come in the next week or two. Finally, I haven't had a single payment for 3 months, so it gets concerning. But there you go. It is what it is. So let's just see if I can see what other charts people are looking at. Okay, so that was my suspicions, a leg and a leg. Trouble is, if it's a range, we've had a break out the top of it, which means we may get one lower, so I don't automatically want to jump into a trade here unless we got a nice, strong, higher low. So let's just put that there, that there. That would take us to the bottom. What I will say is this came back here, but it never got below there. So that strikes me. We've had a bullish bar here, another bounce bullish bar, and another bounce bullish bar. That tells me there's a fair amount of buyers pushing this thing. So that, when this came back, it couldn't get below there. So I think there's a good chance this bounces and pushes up. There is a second entry long there. We have got 2 clear legs down. You can see that with the measured move. But it's ranging as well, and we had a small breakout there, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had one here. So if I do go along here, it's going to be on the higher low, really. You could argue that's a triple test. It's not a huge bar. It's only 6 ticks. But because of that breakout at the top, my gut feeling is we may get one down here. So I'm just going to sit tight here. And I think it was a good decision. It's only 6 ticks. If you liked it, you could jump in here and have a 3 or 4 tick risk. But because of this breakout here, we may get one down here, which, funnily enough, if we do, would come into contact with this line. Okay, so good reason to stay out of that. Now let's see how this reacts. You could argue now this is a breakout, like we did there. That one fails. You probably expect this one to fail. Now the only trouble is there's no guarantee this is a channel, but if it finishes nice there and we get a few bars with a strong bull bar, that would make sense. See, on this chart, 1, 2, 3 triple test, I actually kind of like that. Let's just get an order ready, just in case.
Order submitted.
Second entry long, 2 clear legs down. It's 10 ticks. I've got this on a sim.
Order cancelled.
Okay, so I'm only trading 5 of my accounts. The others I've applied for a payment, so I'm just not trading those again. Straight Lines Tattoo, how you doing, buddy? We've got the open here as well, so that's where we bounce on that bar. So let's see if this bounces again. Okay, so it's holding. So far, so good. I can give that a little tiny bit of space. I'm all right with that. We have bounced there, which is interesting. So if I move that a touch, that actually works. I wouldn't buy just yet. It would have to be a higher low, but if it does react, I like the fact we've got 3 bars there. We've got a little double bottom. Little break out the range. Let's see what happens. If we can drop below there, trigger that bear bar, will be interesting. Let's get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Trigger that bear bar. I like the fact that we're going sideways here. If we'd have triggered that bear bar and give us a bullish bar, I'd have taken that as a higher low. It's reacted nice and strong to there, so my gut feeling is it's probably going to continue up. Unfortunately, there's nothing much I can really do there. It's not really a higher low. It's a double bottom, so you can recount it, I believe. But trouble is, we're, like I say, 5 ticks away from the EMA there, so I'd have to just leave that, unfortunately. There's also a possibility of something like that. I'm not sure that there is. Maybe a channel like that, but for me, prices are going up. So if that triggers, excuse me, this may push up a bit more.
Order cancelled.
So, depending how you look at this, there's bound to be some shorts there. See, Thomas Wade, if I look at his channel, he's got that like that. It's hard to say at the moment. I think you've got to pay attention to this, whether it's fact or not. It's hard to say, but there is clearly a range here. So a break out of it, I wouldn't be thinking about short just at the moment. And I might have it wrong. I'm certainly not trading right at the moment. Anyway, it's just not super clear now, is it? So we've got this open still here. So that's a channel with a break and a new low. So let's see what happens here. I could adjust that a touch. Touch is there, it's triggered. So it'll either push up or it'll come down. If it comes down, I'll get rid of the channel. I'm a bit on the fence about the channel anyway. It's not something I'm religiously looking at. It's just kind of an area of interest. If this triggers, well, it has done, and comes down, I'd say it's more likely not. It's more likely just a range. Yeah, that's not going to trigger that and come down without stopping out, I don't think. Mind you, there is a fair few amount of bounces there, but if I was in that long trade there, I'd be 95% certain I'd be getting stopped out. But there is support along there, so you never know. So I'm going to get rid of that now. That'll be dropping below there without a doubt. So pretty much just looks like it's ranging. So if we've got a leg down there, a second leg down will get us down to this area. So if I put that there and that there, that would get us down to these lows. Now, you may put that there, you may put it there, but I'll probably go for the top because that kind of is really what I'm looking at. Don't think there's a wider channel. There could be, but I'm just going to keep things tight at the moment. I think I get a better read of the market if I keep these channels tight. Trouble is, with this little range here, we've had a break out the top. We often get one out the bottom. So it depends where you've got that channel drawn. That's where I initially had it. I think you could put it there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you count that. So I actually prefer that one. So now there is a failure there. There's a bull bar triggered, so this may come further down. I don't want, it's not a huge channel, but it's not a huge, the trouble is if it is ranging and that is a breakout, it may trigger that and push up. So I'm going to have to leave this, unfortunately. As tempting as that is as a failure, if we have a leg down there and we get a second leg down there, then that may continue down. But we are finding some support around here, which is the midline. So I think you just have to just sit tight just at the minute. Now, does that change things? I actually like that as a channel, which would mean 1, 2, 3. This could be a triple test. Trouble is, we've pushed in and bounced off this support, so changes things. Trouble is, if you look left here, bounce, triple test, that's gone up quite strong. So taken out this possible stop there. But yeah, I mean, so break out of the range here. I expected one this side. It's exactly what we did. And now we're back into this. So for me, I'm going to take this. Let's get rid of this, turn it into a proper range. Do I like that or do I like that? I'm going to leave it like that. Break out there, break out there. We've got a bunch of touches there anyway, so that actually looks okay for me. So I'm just going to add a touch of colour to that. Okay, so we've had this move down, 2 pushes up, and we're going sideways. So channel break, push up new high. You could argue that that is part of the channel. It's terrible, actually. Russell, how you doing, bud? Okay, that's very tempting. I'm going to wait for a higher low, though.
Order
because
submitted.
that looks like a straightforward channel. There's your break, there's your new high. But there, you may count that with a break and a new high, so that may work. The safer option is the lower high. I do like it, though. But, well, it is working, I think. I don't think we're going to get a lower high, to be honest with you. I think this thing will just come down. You may do. Or I could put it on a limit order, see if that works. I don't think it's going to come and get us, to be honest with you. It's gone a bit too far now already, hasn't it? So if you got on there, tick below. So it's not gone too far. There's plenty of points down the low, but now you get that bar and then this one. There's only one place that's going. I was tempted. I was very tempted.
Order cancelled.
Personally, I didn't like it based on where the trade was. Certainly does look like we're clearly ranging anyway. Daryl, how you doing, buddy? Jan, how you doing, my friend? Long time no see. I hope you're well. So, channel going down there. While you're here, I forgot to put that on there, actually. You've just reminded me. I don't know why my other one, I usually have two. I usually have this one, which gives me the, mind you, will be done by 7 o'clock tonight anyway, UK time. I usually have this other one here, but for some reason, this is just random whether this shows or not. Yeah, the economic news is there, but it just doesn't show for some reason. Sometimes, I don't know. So, yeah, I'm only trading 5 of my accounts. The others are waiting for a payment. I've finally got a payment. It's took me about 2 months of growing these accounts back up after the last episode of moving the stop. So hopefully I've learnt my lesson. It's frustrating, really, because I had the first 5 months of the year, I got a nice payment every month, and just one moment of weakness and I moved that stop and then ended up losing them accounts. So it's taken me probably 3 weeks of frustration and blowing a bunch of them just to settle down, and then a couple of months building them back up. So I'm kind of there now. So hopefully in the next week or two, certainly a couple of weeks, I should get some more payments. Probably about 5 trades away, 5 winning trades away from 9,000 from Traderfy, and then obviously more from Apex. So fingers crossed, eh? So channel down there with a break. Do I think this is likely to come down here? You'd have thought so. There is kind of a lower high there. Now this is pushed up again, this bar on the left. If this turns down, I'll take this as a failure. Trouble is, there is 3. I mean, these are quite different. These are. They're not usually that different. We've got a little bit of, so flat that EMA is, a little bit of this, but channel down, 1 attempt to go high, 2nd attempt to go. If this fails, drops down bearish, I will have a go at this, but I don't think it's going to. Excuse me. Yeah, it's getting a bit congested now, so we need to get a little bit higher. Yeah, it is. The thing is, things changed for me a little bit the end of last year. When I had that Christmas break, I had a, because I think what you got to do, I think it's a good idea to, you know, do a little self-assessment once in a while and just kind of think, you know, how is my state of mind? What am I doing? What are the mistakes I'm making? How do I want to improve, you know, in the coming year? And I kind of had that little sort of heart to heart with myself. And I came back and I made money for the first 5 times. So for the first time, really, it's so simple. It's so simple in theory. My bars look different. I have reloaded. Try reloading yours, Sean. If not, I'll reload mine again. It is simple in theory. All you've got to do is sit here, wait for a setup, take it, commit, whether it wins or lose. If you've made a mistake, process it, learn from it, and move on and do it again. It's as simple as that. There's 2 things that make it difficult for you to do that. One is your skill level. How long have you been trading? Now, I've been trading long enough now to know the difference between a good setup and a bad setup. That's very tempting. It's a little bit too far from that EMA for me. Let's see how the next one finishes. Okay, so it's still a little bit stacked here. It may backfire there, so I'm just going to leave that alone. So your skill level, obviously it takes time to learn to read the charts, and the emotions, how that affects you. Now, as your skill level starts to increase, eventually your emotional connection has less of a hold, and it starts to slowly get easier. There's no hard and fast process, in my opinion, to that. It's just a process, exactly what it is. You've just got to come here every day, and very, very slowly, day after day, things get to be like a normal job where you go to work and do the same every day, and it has less of that kind of emotional grip on you. Back training 30, 40 minutes a day, pure gut feeling. Gut feeling's a big thing in this business. It's you know, you being a pilot, it's like flying. It's a lot about experience. The more time you sit in that pilot seat, the more different scenarios you go through, the better the feel, the better the understanding you get. And it's the same as trading. You do get a feel for it. I don't have to bother counting legs so much anymore. It's more, how does it look? How does it feel? That to me, it didn't have that strong push down below that EMA. And I've been caught out in these before. So I decided to leave it. We've got a channel down there. You can argue there's 2 little legs up. By the count, technically, you can say it's a second entry short, but it was just something I didn't like about it. I left it, triggered, straight up, stopped it out. So it's experience. You know, the more times you sit in this seat and look at these charts, you'll very, very slowly but surely get a better understanding of how these markets move. And just by sitting there every day, it's impossible not to get not to improve. So yeah, so Christmas, I had a little bit of a thought. You know, I sat down, went over my kind of emotional state, how the year was, what I need to do and improve, and I had a better start. And I sat here and I traded, and I didn't do anything stupid. I still took a few risks on a few new accounts. That's an issue I needed to sort of, you know, get a little bit more of a hold on. But I just did what I was supposed to, and I started to make money every month. And then something happened at home. Something was going on at home. A little bit of frustration. I had a couple of losses, and I felt like I was overdue a blowout. I felt like I was a little bit too emotionally involved. And it for me, it felt like it was a matter of time. And sure enough, a little bit of panic. Move your stop. The trouble is, if you move that stop once, Sam, how you doing, bud? If you move that stop once and it moves towards you, it's kind of, it's almost like stepping on the grenade, isn't it? Once you're on that grenade, it's hard to get off, and you've got to rely on luck, it turning in, and most often than not, it doesn't. You move your stop, it comes towards you. Move your stop, it comes towards you. And once you're in so much, very hard to let go of that. You either get lucky, which I didn't, or you blow your accounts. And I think I blew about 11, 12 accounts. And then I think for the next 3 weeks, I threw money at it, took risks, threw money just purely out of frustration and, you know, a little bit of anger and frustration with myself. And then I kind of come to the realization I've just got to build them back up again. And that's what I've been doing for the last 2 months. And now finally I've got them to the level where I can start to take payments again. So once you do that process a couple of times, you do start to realize the only way you really make this work is just by sitting here patiently taking a trade. It's okay if it doesn't work. It's okay if you make a mistake or you take an impulsive trade. You need to just accept it and move on. You know, we're not perfect. We trade in fast moving markets, and sometimes it's very easy to take an impulsive trade. You're going to make very fast decisions, but you have to forgive yourself. And that's something it took me a long time to do. I've always been kind of an all or nothing person. If I mess it up, I tend to just go overboard. But I've just had to learn to not be perfect, and just accept that, you know, I'm still learning. Accept mistakes and just move on. But if I made a mistake, I do like that self-sacrifice and punish myself. I've messed up here. I might as well just go all in. It's my own stupid fault. But I've had to really learn to forgive myself. It's a big thing, that. I can't tell you how many times I thumped myself just out of pure frustration. But forgiveness, you've got to learn to do it. So we're clearly arranging here. We've got a little breakout. As we know, most breakouts fail. This is starting to look like a possible 2 legs up. if we can get a solid lower high without going too much higher, we may get something. The only other slight issue I've got is as we've pushed up into a range, often we'll push out the top. So if this turns without going too much higher, so really the last few days have more or less been ranging. So as I mentioned down here when we opened, it looks to me like we're probably heading towards the tops. We've been to the lows right down here below all this. So for me, it's more likely going to, move up. But it doesn't mean it won't come back into here first and whatever else. But we've moved above that measured leg now. So I think once it goes so high, that's interesting. Someone's just posted that. I had that earlier, but it's gone up now and it's testing this top. So maybe it is, which means I don't necessarily expect it to fail. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a correction or a retest to the tops. But as in, yeah, that doesn't look terrible, does it? Look where it's closed. Look where that bar's closed. We've pushed up there, crossed over, popped out the top. So that's certainly a possibility. Now, as we know, most breakouts fail. I think this had optimum opportunity to pull back in there and here, but it hasn't done. So I'm not expecting it to. Just get rid of that colour. So what I like about it is you can see it bounce there. You can see it working up that midline there, along there. So that doesn't look too bad to me. So all-time highs would be up here. So with the exception of that pull-up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 5 days, excluding the weekend, would be more or less ranging. So this to me, we had a fair old move down yesterday, and then we had a couple of bounces, a retest, and it took off. So my guess is it's more likely going to stretch up to these highs. Now, how it does it is a different matter. We could do something like that and then up again, but I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up being a relatively bullish day. So I actually kind of like that. Touch, touch, touch. It's not too bad on the top at all either, as long as it doesn't get much higher. So another little channel there. I'll be okay taking that a touch higher because it fits there just as well. How many points are you going for now, Jan? Are you? Because I think you're trying 2 points at one point. Probably sounded a bit confusing there. You went for 2 points at one point. You're going for 6 ticks. 6 ticks, yeah. I know Dan and Marco go for 6 ticks. I think that's a good starting point. I do really 6 ticks. It's 50% more profit than a point, isn't it? So you don't need to get it right many times to make it worth your while. In fact, I took a trade yesterday. I actually wrote it on the chart as a 1.5. It wasn't actually. Something didn't seem right when I was marking up later. It's 2.5 points I took. Mac marked it as well, which is always nicer. It was that trade there. I kind of had this, I think. But it's something like that. It was that trade I took. Little second entry. What I like about it is you've got a bull bar down here, nice high or low, triggered it, came down. I love these bear bars where they're nice and tight under that EMA, so that just worked beautifully. You even got a lower high there, plenty of points. 2.5 points I got out for, but it went down for, yeah, so even if I'd have waited for me 3, it would have worked plenty, but I was more interested in getting out below that bar because I expected that bar to get stopped in that bar, and that's exactly what happened. It came down, stopped it out for a tick, and then pulled back. So sometimes when it pulls back, you never know whether it's going to take out that previous level. So I tend to look at who's likely trapped here, and then kind of work out where I need to get down. So it was 2.5 points I went, and I think I dropped down. I might have gone in a little early actually. But yeah, I think I remember I had it there and I dropped it by a tick, and I think that's what happened. So it worked nice that. Mac marked it as well. He didn't mark a huge amount yesterday, but that was one of them. So channel break, new high. So that small channel has played out. So is this going to come down or what? So I am keeping an eye on my Apex accounts, because as soon as they've been approved, I can trade them again. I did consider running them a bit higher, but they're all around about the $2,800. So I thought I'd take something from each of them. I think that's the one thing that Apex lacks at the moment, is that speed to approve and pay out. I think Take Profit Trader and that, I think are miles ahead at the moment. So hopefully that's something they're going to speed up a little bit. I remember Apex, they let out a video maybe 6 months ago saying that they were looking into the straight to funded. I got to say, I'm not a fan of evaluations anymore. I hate them. They got me into bad habits. I've done much better with Traderify, because purely you got to pay a little bit more for them, so you tend to take a bit more care of them. So if they go straight to funded, I'd be interested, but we've not heard nothing from them for maybe 5 or 6 months. You don't like it? No, I don't like them. I mean, it's good in a way that they're cheap. Trouble is, the cheaper they are, the less care you take, and it. I suppose they kind of know that that's how they kind of grab you, these prop firms. But you know, it is. We've only got ourselves to blame, haven't we? We can't blame them. But I'd like to see a correction of some sort now. But I'd like more companies to do the straight to funded. I do like Traderify. I got to say, I like their payout system. It's quick, and it's generous as well. You get to 3,000, you can take 2,000 out. You get to 3,000 with Apex, 900 I think you can take. So it's good if you're trying to build capital or grow more accounts. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? My new plan for new accounts is every time I get paid, I use 10% of it to invest in more accounts. I'm stopping just the random picking them up all the time and risking them. So I'm going to keep myself 10% and just use that. Otherwise, you end up earning your profits and throwing it all straight back into it. So, possible overshoot. I'm still not 100% wrapped with that account. I'm good, Speedy. How about you, mate? Yeah, mate, good on you. We're at yesterday's open now. I'd be surprised if that goes much further without correcting. Got all-time highs up here again. Seems to be smashing that every other day. Okay, so all-time highs. As I say, today, just based on what I can see over the last few days, we're going down, we're going up, we're coming down. I think there's a good chance we head up to these levels, which so far we seem to be doing. Oh, good, making lots of money. Yeah. Now I've got my accounts grown to a reasonable level again, I can start taking some payments again. So when I get my payment approved from Apex, I will let you know. Sometimes they're quick, sometimes they're a little slow, but they're falling behind, I think, with the speed of it. But I'm assuming, as like most companies, they're always looking to improve. So hopefully, that will speed up. If you think about where we've come over the last 2 years, you used to have to trade with Apex for 25 days until you took a payment. And there was only 2 payment dates, middle and end of the month. Now you can kind of apply for a payment whenever, but it can tend to take 2 to 3 days sometimes. I've had them approved the following morning from putting in for a payment in the evening, and I've waited 3 days, so I never quite know. So I actually prefer that. Touch, 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 up into the top. It's like a little 2-tier channel up into this top tier, and then down 2 legs up and a little bit of sidewards. Second entry you may consider looking for. Trouble is, because of this, it may be an overshoot. So I mean, it's quite a large overshoot, but an overshoot nonetheless. But we've reacted to yesterday's open, which I thought we may do. We got kind of 3 little areas where it closed right on that. So we may get a correction of some sort. If you look there, you can see where we've pushed up and hit that. And let's see if we turn down. I certainly wouldn't want to go long here anyway. 1, because of a possible overshoot. 2, because it's reacting to that level. So, yeah, I'm just going to sit tight here. Mind you, sometimes when it does is it just continues on up. Whenever you think it can't go any further, it does the complete opposite. Okay, so this is what I expected. Let's see how far it goes. Trouble is, it could be a breakout that fails. It may continue up. Who knows? Trouble is, it's gone up really strong, really steep, so I couldn't bring myself to take a trade like that. There's no room to the top anyway, so there's definitely a no-go. Expect this kind of correction before it pushed up, especially when it's gone up so steep. One, two, three. There's a triple test there. Trouble is, it's so bullish there, I couldn't bring myself to go long there because it's also looks like a triple test that goes short. So I'm just staying out of this. Could just go up. It could do the complete opposite. I would expect a correction here, so my guess is it would probably be down at least to the EMA. So bearish bar, bearish bar, bearish bar, triple test. So that's kind of what I expected. Trouble is, because we've got a strong move up short, wouldn't be my obvious thought. Trouble is, this is all I've really got to go on. I guess this will probably come down further. So looking at this chart, it kind of looks like 2 legs down, which nice to trap some longs there. It hasn't triggered it actually. I was hoping we might get a long failure. Orders here at 790, which is there. Channel down with a break. I'd just like to make a low for this. I'd like to see 2 legs. Something like that, and then maybe I move up again. I did mention earlier at this level we're looking for a correction really. I can't see it continuing up that high without some form of a correction. So channel down, break, trap a few longs here, come down for that second leg and then find our way, or even maybe somewhere along those lines. That probably doesn't sit terribly. So bounce there, bounce there. So we've got to come down, I think, really. There is some sellers around here, so maybe leg and a leg. And we get somewhere along those lines. And then we may push up again. Okay, so first leg down. Let's see what happens there. Is that going to push up? It's hard to say. It may do, but I can see orders at 90, which is here, which is not quite at the top. So and we bounce, we bounce, we bounce, we bounce. If it picks up those sell orders, this may start to range a little bit. Okay, these orders now are getting picked up. Yeah. Okay, that's made a new high. Let's see what happens now. There is orders up at 800 up here. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll just be a second. Okay, so my gut feeling was we were going to head up to these highs again, and that does look like we're going to get there a little bit quicker than I thought by the looks of things. We're not far off. What are we? We're about 12 points or so to all-time highs again. Bang on 12 points. Okay, so channel with a break and a new high. So that's played out now as well. So I'm not thinking that anymore. So we got a couple of pushes up into a range and then it just took off. So what we do from here is another matter. I'm not sure. I think it's more small scale. I don't think there's a larger channel there, to be honest with you. It just looks like this is nice and relatively tight and nicely fitting with a clear break. Down to some support where you can see it's actually dropped below there by a tick, which you kind of expect. Any liquidity there, which it's done. It pushed right down, took out any liquidity in reverse, and then off it's gone. So I use this as kind of what may be the bottom of a range or maybe the bottom of a potential triple test, but I didn't expect it to get that high. But it has. So it's really strong at the moment, this is. So there was like a hidden second entry long there. Trouble is, when you've had a break and two small attempts to go higher with such a strong, tight move up, I wouldn't want to take that. I think a higher low or something like that, which we didn't really get. Trouble is, when you have such a strong push like that out of what looked like a possible channel, I expected correction, which we kind of had, but I expected more of a couple of bigger legs, which we didn't get. So I'm just a bit uncertain about whether I want to get into a trade here. So channel break, new high, that's clear. Let's see where this thing goes. Yeah, there's Taylor's. Oh, there we go. There's Max. Okay, so Max got that. He's got the kind of bigger move. So maybe there is. I did kind of like that section up there, but I had it there. He's just extended it up. So maybe it is. I don't really think it's going to help us so much. So right from the lows to there, and he's got his there. Trouble is, you would want to get into these areas where you'd want to get into longs or down here. So sometimes these bigger channels don't necessarily help you. We don't need that channel so much to tell we're going up. We clearly see that. Obviously, these channels help us because as soon as we get a break from them, we look for a higher low. But if you waited for a break of this last channel, a higher low, I'm guessing you'd be waiting one of a long time. So it doesn't really help us as such. But well, until we possibly get back down to this level. And to be honest with you, 5, 10, 15, we're 15 points before that happens. But this thing seems that strong. I'll be surprised if it does get back there. I'd be kind of thinking about more the midline. Trouble is, whenever you get these two-tiered channels, it always makes me nervous trading the midline, just in case it's the one time that I get and it decides to trigger it and move down for another move down to the lows. So channel. There's already a break there and a new high for me, and it's reacted off that top again. So a couple of legs back. Is this going to come? See, that really is just one kind of leg, isn't it? But all of a sudden, that's all it's needed, and it's working up again. I don't think it's going to go very far, but Okay, let's see. Oh, let's see how everybody else is doing. Nutty. Up a bit. Mainly up, I think. Mhm. So if we break below here, possibly second entry long. Trouble is, if this is a channel, always makes me nervous going along right into the tops. You never know when this thing's going to decide to take a pull. You know, a strong move down. I mean, if this is strong, this thing could take off again, or it could come down. It's hard to say. I'd expect a second leg down anyway. But I don't think I'll be comfortable getting into a long either just yet. The strange thing is we're clearly bullish at the moment, so that's kind of the area where you'd be thinking about taking a long. Okay, that's come down. Took any possible liquidity out. Looks slightly rangy as well at the moment. As tempting as that is, I'm sitting tight at the moment. You don't know how far this thing's going to pull back. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make myself a cup of tea, and I'll be back. Okay, so there could be something larger, but I'm going to kind of just leave it like that just for now. Showing that we've had a break and a new low, so I'd expect some sort of support there. So we'll see how we get on. It's hard to know what's going on here. Whether this thing's a larger channel or not. It looks like a larger channel on here, but who knows? It has hit support here, bounced. Okay, so we found some support there, and this thing seems to be making a move higher. Trouble is, if this is a range, we've had a breakout of it that's failed, so I would expect one down here, but because it's generally bullish, it's hard to say. See, I've got two. I look at Thomas Wade's, he's got his chart like that. So I've got kind of the best of both worlds here. Well, actually, that's supposed to be like that. So touch, possible break, bottom finishes, sorry, looks okay. So this still may come down yet, but that's pushing up quite strong and it's holding. So I am kind of what it's got to do, dear. It's just kind of two legs, a bit of a correction, not kind of the corrections I like to see, but I still think there's a good idea. We have a leg and a leg down. So we've got this big move up with a break at a new high. I'd like to see a couple of legs back before this pushes higher. That's if it does. My gut feeling is it probably will. But I'd expect it to correct a little bit different than this before it does push up. Yeah, I'd expect somewhere along those lines. And then a move up. And then if this is valid, we may come down here. Like, who knows? I don't know. But this thing seems to want to keep pushing higher. So, little channel with a break and a new high. So that's played out. I think you may adjust this slightly. But even if I adjust that, there's a little break there. Whoa, that was a quick drop. So you may argue there's a triple test there. So I just don't feel comfortable about taking shorts at the moment when price is generally moving up. So that may just trap you. Bearish buy, you might think, quick drop there, triple test, let's jump in. All of a sudden it triggers you and pushes higher. So I've fallen for that before. Sometimes whenever we see these quick drops, I've thought, wow, this is coming down. I've got a great chance to get in now. And then down it comes, and sometimes it triggers you and moves on up. So I don't let these quick movements necessarily help me make a trade choice. Sometimes it just works that way, but you may argue there's a triple test there, so this may come. I think it will come back for a second second leg down. But at the moment, I'm just sitting tight because I didn't expect this strong move up. After this, I thought this may be it, and then down towards this side. So I'm not getting into a short trade here. I've been trapped with these before, and if you look at it, it's triggered it. I guarantee there'll be traders thinking, oh, here we go, quick drop. There's loads of sellers there. Down the thing comes down here. Let's make some money. All of a sudden, it triggers you, and then slowly works up. That's if it does, of course, but no guarantees. But not only that, top of the range, top of the range, top of the range breakout. I'd expect one down here, so we'll see. So looking at Bookmap, there are quite even orders all the way around here. So it's hard to know what I think's going on here. There are even amount of orders above and below this. There are bigger orders up here. I think the overall picture is bullish at the moment, but you don't know whether it's going to come up to 92 area, which is here, and then drop a bit. It's hard to say, but so I certainly think, without a doubt, we'll break above this bearish bar here. There'll be some liquidity there, that much I'll say. Okay. That possible triple test triggered. Stopped out as I thought it might do. So we got a channel with a break. 2 attempts to push higher. Let's see if this thing comes down. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Yeah, this seems very strong at the moment, this. Oh, this is slow this afternoon. Story of our lives lately, isn't it? "15 minutes this lot." Excuse me. Disco, how you doing, buddy? Slow day. It's not a huge amount of price action, mind you. It's been doing this a lot lately. So we got channel break. 2 pushes to a new high. Kind of rangy breakout pullback. Is this going up? Is this going down? I've got no idea, to be honest with you. Overall, yeah, generally going up, but then we have these moments. So we've had a channel break new high. I think that's a channel break new high as opposed to a channel. Doesn't look right for a channel to me, to be honest with you. So I'm guessing it's a channel break new high. So I'd like to see a correction. Trouble is, when it's up here, if there is this bigger channel, it's constantly looking to operate in the top section of this channel. That always makes me nervous. I much prefer the bottoms, or at least some kind of structure like the midline. Even the EMA makes me nervous, but it's so high in this, you don't know when this thing's going to have a deeper correction and come down possibly to the lows, clear every, long stops maybe. You don't know when this can decide to just drop. So we've kind of, only really got half the picture here. The rest we've got to kind of figure out. See, I'm looking at Bookmap. Their orders at 95. So this thing for me, and orders at 800 as well. So this thing for me, in my opinion, I've kind of had the opinion of it from earlier on, and that we were going to come up and test this area up here. We cleared out with yesterday. We cleared out the previous few days, and then we're pushing up. So my guess is it's likely going to come into this area, which we're more or less, we're not far off there anyway. It's kind of here, isn't it? If you look 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, so we've been up into this area. So my guess it's going to get up there. Is he going to push up there now? I certainly wouldn't be comfortable trading it. I'd like to see a proper correction or a decent correction. Well, whether we get one or not, who knows? Because we're so far, we're literally a few points away from getting into this area. And then we've been up here before, and then it dropped. Tried to retest it, couldn't do it. Been up here once before, tried to retest it, couldn't do it. We've been in it, and we made a few more attempts to push higher, and then the arse fell out of it. But then we cleared a bunch of days yesterday. So for me, this is kind of where I think price is going now. Whether it gets there soon or whether we do get some sort of correction. But because you're trading into the top section of this channel, it just always makes me a bit nervous. because I'd rather see it come down and take out some longs who went long here, prematurely, and same here, and then maybe clear out this area and then look for something. But you never know. Sometimes when you think like that, the thing just keeps going and going. But as I say, we're not far from this area where we've been in before. So, what is it? It's about 8-9 points I've got it kind of mapped as. But we're not far from the that first part. Okay, excuse me a sec. I've just got to make a phone call. My wife's car broke down last night, so we had to have it picked up and taken to a garage. So I just want to give them a ring and see if we got any news. It's only 4 years old, so we shouldn't really get any major issues with it now, but you never know. So I'm just going to make a quick phone call. I'll be 2 minutes. Okay, it's not going to be today. So excuse me just 1 second. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we're into this area now. So, are we going to clear everything? So, all-time highs, we're about 5 points away. Okay, this is boring me today. For some reason, it's just slow. No entries. I'm going to finish a bit early today. I'm only trading off my accounts anyway. The others are waiting approval for payment. So I'm just bored today. I feel like doing something different. So I'm going to leave you guys to it. So I appreciate the company. I'll let you know my payments are approved. I may come back later this evening for an hour. So we've got this 800 level with a load of sell orders. If it hits this level, my guess is it'll pull back. So anyway, I'm going to leave you guys to it. So I appreciate your company. Best of luck to you. Have a great, safe evening. And we'll catch up tomorrow. I don't think it's trading Monday. I think, isn't it Columbus Day or something Monday? So Wednesday today, Thursday tomorrow. So we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.